I chose to do my project on the media history of North Korea. North Korea has an interesting history when regarding media freedoms and is still under tough regulations. To start off, North Korea is located in Eastern Asia. The northern half of the Korean peninsula borders the Korea Bay, the Sea of Japan. Its bordering countries are China, South Korea, and Russia. Its land consists of hills, mountains, narrow valleys, and wide coastal plains. It is slightly larger than Virginia and slightly smaller than Mississippi. Some issues the land faces is late spring droughts, often followed by severe flooding, occasional typhoons during the early fall. Current issues being faced are water pollution, inadequate supplies of potable water, waterborne diseases, deforestation, soil erosion, degradation, and lack of food supply. The stepping stones that brought North Korea to its current state happened when Korea was occupied by Japan in 1905 following the Russo-Japanese War. After World War II, Korea was split between North and South. The northern half came under Soviet-sponsored communist control. Soon after, North Korea gained its independence August 15, 1945. Under its founder, President Kim Il-sung adopted a policy of sustainable diplomatic and economic self-reliance as a check against outside influence. Following Kim Jong's death in 2011, Kim Jong-un quickly assumed power and has since occupied the regime's highest political and military posts. The military demarcation line within the demilitarized zone have separated North and South Korea since 1953. North Korea is currently home to 25 million people. It is ranked 54th in the world for population and has a 52% growth rate. Although a lot of data was not provided due to restrictions the country has in place, according to CIA World Factbook, North Korea has a literacy rate of 100%. Being racially homogeneous, North Korea is mainly populated by North Koreans. However, there is a small Chinese community and a few ethnic Japanese. Traditionally, Buddhist and Confucianist, with some Christian, are the most common religions followed. Korean is a widely spoken language with little to no others really documented. North Korea currently is under a dictatorship government. It has a single-party state, official state ideology of national self-reliance. The chief of state is Supreme People's Assembly is President Kim Young-nam. The head of government State Affairs Commission's chairman is current dictator Kim Jong-un. The cabinet of Nagek members are appointed by the Supreme People's Assembly except the ministers of People's Armed Forces. Government citizenship is hard to acquire, and in order to gain citizenship, one parent must be a citizen of North Korea. Currently, the economic stance of North Korea is not in great shape. The capital stock is almost beyond repair as a result of years of underinvestment, shortages of spare parts, and poor maintenance. Large-scale military spending and development of its ballistic missile and nuclear program severely draws off resources needed for investment and civilian consumption. Weather-related crop failures, food shortages caused by ongoing systematic problems, which include a lack of arable land, collective farming practices, poor soil quality, insufficient fertilization, and persistent shortages of fuel. Large portions of the population continue to suffer from prolonged malnutrition and poor living conditions. Economic issues are shown to be very minimal to none at all, according to the media outlets that are published within North Korea for the world to see. However, from an inside perspective, this has been shown not to be the case at all. Media restriction does not allow accurate numbers to be publicly known for how many are actually suffering. Socially, North Korea faces a number of issues as well, risking arrest, imprisonment, and deportation. Tens of thousands of North Koreans cross into China to escape famine, economic privation, and political oppression. North Koreans, including children, are held in prison camps and are subjected to forced labor. Totalitarian regime keeps its citizens in a state of ignorance with publication restrictions regarding social issues. North Koreans can still be sent to a concentration camp for viewing, reading, or listening to content provided by media outlet based outside the country. From the media perspective, it is shown that any acts that go against the current media laws will be met with severe punishments. North Koreans get their news, entertainment, and information from state media, which unfailingly praises the leadership of Kim Jong-un. Propaganda is used to politically support the dictatorship of Kim Jong-un and keep political views under strict watch. Talking negatively about the current state of the country or leadership can result in immediate punishment as well. Relating this to the media aspect, it shows that political media is also under strict supervision and is made sure to only publish media that supports the current state of political actions taking place. North Korea continues to be ranked last in RSF's W World Press Freedom Index. There is no independent media in North Korea. Radios and TV are pre-tuned to government stations. There are 4 government-owned TV stations which are in charge of all media in North Korea. The Korean Workers' Party owns and operates Korean Central Broadcasting Station. The state-run Voice of Korea operates the external broadcast service. The government prohibits listening to and jams foreign broadcasts. Mobile phones, including smartphones, are accompanied by technical measures that provide the regime with almost complete control over communications and files transmitted over the national internet. Korean authorities are displaying greater flexibility towards international media, allowing more foreign reporters to cover official events. This reflects the idea that only allowing certain events in North Korea to be covered, so only positive news can be viewed internationally. North Korea has a very strict human rights. The US, United States, South Korea, and the United Nations Human Rights Civil have all signed human rights acts to pressure Kim Jong-un and the North Korean regime. These acts have accused Kim Jong-un of committing serious human rights violations and crimes against humanity. Many activists have come together and created networks for each defector activist is connected to other state and non-state actors in the system of international human rights activists against North Korea. Regarding the movements in and out of the country of North Korea, is it a criminal offense if you leave without government approval? Although the punishment, thousands still attempt to escape every year. Most try escaping to China or South Korea. Execution is a possible punishment if caught fleeing the country. However, media coverage of these cases is hard to come across because North Korea does not allow this coverage to get spread. Globally, North Korea is not the only country with harsh media restrictions. Other countries with similar restrictions are Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Syria. All these countries establish media control to keep private to their actions. Like North Korea, there are restrictions that the U.S. faces when publicizing certain medias. For instance, the U.S. cannot publicly share all actions taking place in the government in fear of national threats. As for North Korea, they keep private to all government actions in order to keep and prevent other countries as well as their own people from knowing what is taking place within their own government. Unlike North Korea, the U.S. has much more freedoms outside the fear of national threat. Inside the U.S., people are able to view any type of media of their choice. They're able to view other countries' media with no issues regarding media usage. Internet access has much more freedom compared to North Korea and allows users to publish personal thoughts on government and political issues. North Korea, of course, does not have this freedom and suffers from major media control. Internationally, North Korea tends to keep to itself with almost about everything. However, North Korea does take part in some international agreements. Some of those agreements are Antarctic Treaty, biodiversity, climate change, desertification, environmental modification, and ship pollution. North Korea has laws restricting all actions by citizens regarding media freedoms. The future of media does not seem to be headed towards any personal freedom anytime soon. Restrictions and regulations are the result of dictatorship government. Although it does not seem like a bright future for media freedoms in North Korea, allowing international coverage of some events taking place in North Korea is a step forward, regardless of the rules that follow within entering the country.